Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fam. So the question tonight is, what is your favorite memories of Britt Westbourne? Now, there was a point where this character came on the show, and I took a hiatus from the show for a little bit. And by the time I actually came back to watching the show, what's good, Black Mind? How you doing tonight? Thank you for joining. By the time I actually came back to the show, um, the character had left for a little bit. I guess I can say my favorite memories was her in Greece with Jason. That whole adventure was just amazing. And it really showed depth in the character. Seemed like it was a huge turnaround from the clips that I saw of her being the quote unquote bridge. Because that was a name. What's good, CW? How you doing tonight? Thank you for joining. Thank you again, Black Mom, for joining. How is everyone's day so far? I should have put a RIP Brit, but I felt like that was a lot more better. Kai Wayne's in the chat. Kai Wayne says, I think she was sleeping replacement for some of the evil characters. What does that mean? Queen of the South is in the chat. How you doing tonight, Queen of the South? It's always great and a blessing to see you. Shauna's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Shauna, what do you think of YNR so far with Summer and her attitude towards Kyle as far as taking Harrison to some place, some textile place? Yeah, when she said she was leaving, I was like, okay, cool, we can go for a couple of days. She was like, and I'm taking Harrison. I was like, I'm sorry, what? What? What did you just say? Uh, but yeah, I found a lot of depth in the character, and I did think it was really cool her being with Jason. They were so opposites in a lot of ways. But they worked really great. Oh, Summer finally woke up. Okay, because Diane is so evil. When Jack was like, "What did She was when he was asking Ashley, "What did he actually do? What did she actually do when she got back?" Oh, well, she didn't do anything. There you go. That's the answer. She didn't do anything. It's good to see you as well, Queen of the South. Or like whenever I sit there and whenever I see your name, I'm always happy to see you. CW says, I watched Brit since she came in 2012, and I love the evolution she went through from being the bridge to what she. Yes, yes. Even JLJ did a video about her, which I thought was pretty interesting. Shauna says Ashley was on Jack today. Yeah, she was. She was on Jack today. For what? I don't know. But I'm like, yo, he's a grown man. He can sit there and kiss whoever he wants, just like Ashley can sit there and kiss whoever she wants. When Jack brung up the whole "Oh, I saw you outside kissing Tucker," she was like, "Oh, so what? You don't get to do that." And Shauna says, "Devon on to Tucker." Yes, when he heard the ringtone, very good. Yes, when he heard the ringtone, he was like, "Oh, that's a unique ringtone." At first when Abby started trying to creep down the stairs, I was like, "But what are you doing? Own it, okay? Own it. It is what it is at this point." Jay Blue says, AJ's in the chat. What's good, AJ? Jay Blue says, I like Brit scene with Jason. I miss some of her other acts that casted her in a bad light. Yeah, it's amazing. She went through a real evolution. She went through a real evolution. Mr. Cheyenne is in the chat now, just named Shy. Was good. How you doing tonight? CW says Jack should add a few more important letters to his name for being sucked back in by Diane. Yeah, AJ, it was. Yeah, I read your comment. I totally agree. It was depressing. It was boring. Nothing really happened. There was characters that just weren't needed. Like Portia and Curtis was not needed in this episode. Or needed. The news of Britt's death was off screen. Yeah, AJ, I remember you saying that. I didn't know what that meant though. Or it was off screen. Like, what does that mean? Yeah, Jessica, it was. It was. I always sat there. Yeah, it wasn't. Jessica, it wasn't his finest moment. But to be fair, it seemed like the episode wasn't really that great. And I've said this in my review, and I'll say it here. I know a lot of people are broken up about Britt's death and everything, but I'm like, these characters' deaths are necessary sometimes to remind you that, hey, you know what, these characters can go at any point and any time. Anybody and everybody can get it. Yeah, yeah, it was definitely laughable. Now, Shauna says, I can't believe Jack had the nerve for Ashley to leave his home, then backtrack because that's the family home. I mean, Shauna, all he said was like, yo, listen, if you don't like what I'm doing, you can leave. You don't need to stay. Like, I'm gonna do what I want to do in this house, and you're gonna deal with it. Just like her kissing Tucker outside. Oh yes, that was another scene that wasn't necessary. Felicia and Cody. They could have did that off screen. They didn't even need to do that. Let's just be clear about that. All right, Colin. Have a good night. CW says I was hoping to see Sprint's reaction to that Trina could there for him, like he was there for her. Rory died. Freddie's in the chat. Was good. Was good. How you doing tonight, Freddie? Yeah, there was just a lot of stuff that was just not really. It wasn't necessary. It really wasn't. Shauna says, but he can't tell her nothing. He said his home. Yeah, I mean, Shauna, yeah, they're at a standstill with that. They can't sit there and tell each other what to do. Um, you know, Now that I think about it, I don't, if Devon had so much of a problem with him losing any ounce of control, I don't understand why he actually bothered to merge with her company in the first place. He already knew that he was going to sit there and have to defer to her about whatever decisions that they made. So now this whole IPO thing is going on. He's like, oh, I don't really know about that. Um, and like Tucker said, it was like, yo, listen, if you don't like it, then pull the company back. You can do that. AJ says they should have showed the news of Britt's death and everyone's reaction on screen. Hmm. I mean, they kind of are to some extent. Cody, um, Maxie, Brad. They're showing a lot of people so far. I mean, granted, yeah, they need to show some more people, but um, I think there's just probably the first of many. I mean, my whole thing is that I hope they don't. I hope every day is not like today, where it's just this really sad, depressing, and boring thing of them sitting there talking about, Brit and her death. Is like, I'm not saying they should just skim over it, but I don't think I need the entire episode devoted to them simply talking about Brit's death. I mean, when you really think about it, how many scenes was really different and how many scenes were actually important, you know? The hell else that happened? Yeah, yeah, AJ, yeah, she seemed like she really don't remember. To be honest, when you really think about Esme, at first, Jessica, I want to say no, but I have a feeling they're going to sit there and pull the rug from under me that um the minute they actually start to think about that. CW says I was hoping to see more of the staff reaction to Britt's death, like Terry. Yeah, but again, this is one of those things where it's like it's the first of many, so they're gonna roll it out. CW, they're gonna roll it out. A lot of people are gonna find out about her death. Terry is definitely gonna find out. Um, yeah, everyone eventually, everyone that was really close to Britt is gonna find out. Freddie says Orbrick turned back into the old Liesel. Yeah, and like I said, Freddie, with Liesel, I'm like, in reality, what is she really gonna do? Is she gonna sit there and kill a pregnant woman? She's gonna sit there and kill a woman that's 7 months pregnant? Is that what she's gonna do? Shauna says Heather Weber is plotting to hook someone else to get out. Yes, yes, yes. Because that's what Ryan was meant to say. Well, at first Ryan was like, um, you need to confess, and I was like, I don't know about all that. Mel, whenever you're here, you're on time. How you doing tonight, Mel? Thank you for joining. Now, Jay Blue says maybe the scene with Felicia and Cody might be a turning point for his character. Maybe. I don't know how many people is actually going to like his character though so far. I feel like a lot of people don't like him already. I mean, I'm fine with him personally. I don't get the enormous hate that the character gets. I really don't. Um, Double C's in the chat today was good. Double C. CW said I have a feeling that would happen because those impulses always come out when Liesel loses someone she loves. Yeah. Samuel's in the chat. What's good, Samuel? How's everything going in your world? Mel, I expect no less from you to watch it for you to watch it tomorrow's episode already. WC says today's GH was great, 7.5 out of 10. Any show with no Carly, Sonny, or Joss is a good show. Okay. I don't know what you actually loved about this episode, but okay. Hey, you know what? To each his own, right? To each his own. Now, AJ says, I know it makes sense for Heather to be the killer, but I don't like how it was revealed. Yeah, there's a lot of disappointment to go around. But what do you mean? What do you mean, just Jessica? How doesn't it not make sense? I mean, today it shows she's able to get in and out. I'm glad you're feeling better, Mel. I'm so glad you're feeling better. So Jessica, okay. So let me ask you a question. Let me ask people in the chat a question. Do people still think that there's more than one hook killer? Screw it. Let's just do a poll. All right. Now Samuel says, "Is it me or does it feel like Daniel on YNR is being a little messy?" How is he being messy, Samuel? Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the questions we're gonna sit there and ask. Do people think there's another hook killer out there? Now Shauna says Marty will do something strange for a little change. Yeah, Mel. Yep. Yeah, he did. But Mel, it's kind of weird because all he did was get somebody else's ringtone and automatically it was like, all right, I need to start asking questions. Like, how many people actually think, like when you really think about it, like a lot of phones, some phones just have the same ringtone. Now, Jay Blue says, I believe there is more than one hook killer. CW says it's possible, but then again, Juice is famous for a last minute rewrite. That's true. I feel like it's a hopeful thing, is what it comes down to. What's good, Makai? How you doing tonight? Thank you for joining. Um, I feel like a lot of people want there to be another hook killer because they're disappointed with the reveal. That's what it really comes down to. Because in reality, it just makes sense. She's able to get in and out because, she knows a guard that can sit there and look the other way. And I just don't think that they're smart enough to sit there and incorporate two hook killers or another hook killer. Samuel says, so Daniel isn't right out messy, but he's asked questions to kind of stir the pot like he did with Billy and like he's done with Summer about Kyle. Hmm. Maybe he's just in a sunken place. But then again, I don't know. That's a good question. AJ says the writings on the Hulk storyline is lazy. And Jessica says, so are you really believe Heather was able to overpower Brando? The frame of the killer is different. People say the Hulk killer was used on the left and Heather used her right hand. That's okay. That's true. That's true. Now, what I did say in the review, Jessica, is that even the best people, even the best fighters or the best trained fighters can get caught off guard. They can definitely be surprised. And like Christina said, it was a huge downpour, like to a point where you couldn't see in front of you. Now, granted, the fight scene, whatever it was, did look a little crappy, but like I said, no matter how good you are, you can always be caught off guard. But the other stuff, yeah, that sort of makes sense, kind of. All right, I'm gonna stop the poll. Yeah, the frame is definitely different. I get that. Daisy Flowers in the chat, and then Daisy Flowers says, "My best memory of Britt is her throwing." I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that scene. Karen is in the chat. What's good, Karen? This is the best part of my day as well. So thank you for being here. Now, Sammy says Daniel is giving me a misery loves company vibe. His relationship with Heather isn't in existence, so he kind of stirring the pot in other people's lives. Hmm. I never looked at it that way. Jessica says, didn't she just find out that Esme was her daughter too? So what? No, I honestly tell you the truth, Jessica. I think she already knew. I think she was surprised that Ryan knew. Um, that Esme was his daughter, but she always knew. I would sit there and say she definitely always knew. Very good question, Samuel. Thank you. See, Samuel, this is why it's always great to have you in the chat. And Daisy Flow says, I have never seen Emma and hope to bring Lila Ray. Or Lila Ray Alcazar. So another poem. Thanks, Samuel. And AJ says, unless, okay. The amazing goddess Nikisha is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Thank you for joining. I don't think. Well, you don't think that there's more than one hook killer? Or you don't think that there's, I'm kind of confused by that. Nikki says, I don't think the writers knew who the hook killer was going to be until a month. Oh, okay. Hmm. You know, sadly, I can see that happening too in real time. Now, AJ says, I don't care about the storyline anymore because of the reveal. You know, AJ, who would you have wanted it to be? And this is just a straight up question. If it was, if they could sit there and do over or whatever, um, who would people wanted the hook killer to be? Mel says the situation will never end chaos with Diane is coming between Kyle and Summer is just getting dangerous. Jessica says, I wouldn't take Rory without I would have That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Why? No, 1 minute it was oh, 1 minute it was kind of chilly, the next minute it's not. The hell is going on? Ugh. CW says they used the hook killer storyline was just a way for them to clean house. That is very true, CW. They killed off Rory, they killed off Brando, they killed off Britt. Yeah, that is very true. That says a lot the way Ashley went off on Jack when Diane with his sick fixation on Ashley says, mm, that's very true. That's very true, Mal. Um Now the case said just like originally Felicia was going to be Esme's mom. I stand by that because Ryan had that flashback of it. Yeah, that's very true. That is very true. Jakaris is in the chat. Was good. Jay Blue says, who would Heather hook next? Portia. I doubt that. Just because, February is right around the corner. Jakaris, how is everything going? How is the YouTube channel going? Because I haven't seen you put up a review on YouTube lately. So what's going on with that, Jakaris? Because I checked your page today. And I was like, where where's the review at? So let me know what's going on with that. I know you've been doing a lot of Twitter space, but have you been doing any reviews on YouTube yet? But I don't know. I look at the storyline. Wow, I actually do remember that, Nikisha, and it's. I wonder what Ryan actually remembered that would actually be a rewrite. Now Samuel says Ashley is running around with Tucker and smiling a man that has cheated on her with her enemy, but Jack can't have a relationship with his son's mother. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that, Samuel. See, every now and then, me and Samuel can sit there and agree on some stuff. Now, Jakara says everything is going good. The reason for that is I'm still writing notes, and another is I'm focused on my G. Okay. All right. I got you. Well, good luck. Good luck, Jakaris. CW says they created a storyline without having a clear idea who the killer would be. Yeah, I can see that. But honestly, tell you, my expectations are just so low sometimes that I'm just like, eh, whatever happens, happens. Now, AJ says I'm starting your reviews on our current soaps on Discord. I created Okay, AJ, I definitely will. I definitely will. I'll definitely be down with that. I want to say, yeah. And the key says Ryan and Nels bonded over them, both having it. Yeah, the question is, are they going to sit there and rewrite it? I mean, are this just going to be a total rewrite? Now, Jakar says, a lot of notes to write. Okay. Well, I mean, Jakar, when you do your reviews, do you do it like, um, because I know you don't do daily reviews, so do you just do it for the whole week or something like that? Like, what's your process, if you don't mind me asking? Mel says, I think Jeremy is going to testing and either that or sleeping with him. I feel like that may be it too. And Freddie says, yeah, better be prepared for cake. Oh yeah. Um okay. Sounds like I gotta get my snacks. Jimmy says, is she though? Ashley has been played countless times by men, including Victor. Oh. Oh yeah, that's how Abby is. Okay. Tony D says I would have written the killer as Kim Nero coming back. Interesting. Valerie is in the chat. Valerie, how you doing tonight? I haven't seen you in a hot minute. It's always great to see you. No, I actually tell you the truth, Ron. I actually didn't get a chance. I'm gonna try to do it. I'm gonna try to do it tonight. Well, on my way to Starbucks in the morning for work. I'm gonna try to do it then. Jakara says, I do what? Now Jakara said I don't discuss what episodes, but it's hard to write knows that. That's why it takes me so long. Okay. All right. I was just curious how because everyone has a different process. Um Brock has a very interesting way that he reviews shows too that he kind of gave me some tips on. So, all right, I'm gonna end the poll. Damon is in the chat. What's good, Damon? Okay, so only 17% actually still care about the story, the whole killer story. What the hell was Portia and Kurt just doing today? Talking about yeah, I honestly tell you, too. No, they were talking about like plants or something like that. He came in, he bought her a plant. I'm just like, who cares? Like seriously, who cares? Now Valerie says, "What?" Oh, Ron says, "I'm happy that Sheila is going to be getting out of prison soon. Can't wait to see." Yeah, he's gonna make that happen. Dollar Bill's definitely gonna make that happen. Shakira's in the chat. What's good, Shakira? Now Nikki says, "I wanted Britt to get to keep Baby Ben instead. If she's giving him back to Lulu and Dante, I wanted Britt to get." Oh, that's is that like a favorite memory or something? I mean, a favorite memory of her story, or um. Yeah, Mel, she was being all frosty and nasty and everything like that. I was like, boo, if you don't go sit your little tail down somewhere, and now she's going to sit there and take Harrison, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Okay, so yeah, just saying things I removed. Oh, that you remember fondly about. Okay. Sorry about that. Um, yeah, that was during a hiatus time I actually wasn't watching General Hospital. And I'm not gonna lie, there was days where it was just weird where I would sit there and record it. My DVR to sit there and try to watch it, and I just never would. Eagle Fang is in the chat. What's good, Eagle Fang? Um, uh, honestly, to tell you, Eagle Fang YNR is actually getting pretty good. I mean, I would recommend Days, but you got to sit there and pay for Peacock. So if you're not gonna do that, I would sit there and say YNR is pretty good. YNR or Days. Days is my personal favorite, but unless you're gonna get Peacock for anything else, stick with YNR. Now, Nicholas is in the chat. Now Nicholas says, "Does Kelly?" Yeah, yeah, in England. I was hearing that from Dion's corner that she's living in London or England, one of those two countries. Eagle Fangs is one that streaming site that I sent. Oh, okay. Oh, then yeah, watch Days of Our Lives then. Okay. Yeah, no, Eagle Fang, then watch Days of Our Lives. As much as I love GH, I would definitely sit there and say watch Days of Our Lives because I feel like it's my favorite one. My favorite soap opera. Yeah, Tony D says, LOL. Oh, by the way, how you doing tonight, Nicholas? Hope I'm saying your name right. I love new subscribers. New people coming on the stream. And Tony D says, LOL, his and her towels. Oh, I was wondering what people that they're laughing about in the chat. From what I understand, Nicholas, she moved there because of a man. Like she's in a new relationship. He lives in London, so she wants to make it work. That's what I heard anyway. No, I don't. I don't. I don't blame you. I don't blame you, Eagle fan. You know, the funny thing is, the last two episodes have actually been good. That's something I was. But I do remember you writing in the comment section that you didn't like the fact that they killed off Britt. Yeah, Ron, it has been good. It actually really has. Now, Eagle fan, you really, Nicholas? Oh, nice. But Eagle Fang, she's moved to London, so most likely she won't be back. That's the thing, Eagle Fang. She's moved to London. She won't be back. Um, and if they got somebody else to replace her, the chemistry may not be as good. So it really was not. It was kind of like they had to do it. When you really think about it, Eagle Fang, they kind. I felt like they had to do it. Valerie says, "Poor Cam, Josh can't wait." Yeah, and that's the thing. Like people have been giving Josh a lot of crap. First, for her ditching her bodyguard, which caused, honestly, to tell you the truth, that's the reason why Britt is dead because Britt saved her when she didn't have to. And then she tells Cameron, but only after she slept with him. Now, Damon says Scotty will empathize with Lethal here. Oh, yeah. Yep, J Blue. Now, Eagle Fang says she did not even take a shower after she was finished with him. Yeah, Jagara said, yeah, I didn't cry either. I really didn't. How you doing tonight, Jaros? Um, Travois, Travois. How you doing tonight? Thank you for joining. Yeah, I mean, I didn't cry either. But to be fair, I usually don't cry when it comes to a soap opera. So, and the key said they could have left it open for her to return just because she moved to London doesn't mean that she can't travel. She doesn't have. No, that's not what I want to do. She doesn't. She doesn't face to. Oh, she doesn't have. She doesn't have to stay in London. You got a point. Um, days first. Days first. Definitely Shakira. Days first. And then why not? And then you can watch Jace. Just watch Jace last. Honestly, tell you the truth, watch Jace last. Nate is in the chat. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Jessica. There could have been a lot of different reasons why she, wanted to leave and stuff like that. Um, and again, if they bring in a new character, things may not have worked. How you doing tonight, Nate? Thank you for joining as always. Yeah, Eagle Fang. That is definitely one of her signature moves, and they just said they could have recast her. Yeah, they could have recast her, but it may not have been good. See, that's the thing, Yeah, they could have recast her, AJ. But what if it wasn't good, and what if the chemistry wasn't good? I mean, so I feel like there's a certain level of depth that needs to happen in a show. I know that sounds morbid, but it's true. Now, Karen says Josh better shut up about Nina now. Yeah, but she's not going to. I mean, Karen, she's a hypocrite. She's been a hypocrite for quite a while. So her running her mouth about other people is not going to change. Damon says Emily's death was sad. Ron says, yeah, it's the best ride on. But I feel like there's a certain level of depth that needs to happen. That makes sense, Eagle Fang. That's not even a spoiler alert. That's just common sense. There's a certain level of depth that does need to happen in a show for you to sit there and kind of appreciate some of the characters that they have on there. And besides, if there's not really a lot of depth, then the character in the show, I don't know. I feel like it's necessary. You know. Mel says, "Do you think Victor is going to send Sally away?" No, no, no. I don't think so. No. Maybe back in if it was the '90s, then I can see that. But now, CW says some characters you can't really recast, and I see Britt as one of them. Now, Nakisha says they can still bring her back if they can bring back Jake after he got hit. But that, I mean, that's. Hmm. I mean, that's good wishful thinking, Nakisha. That's good wishful thinking. But I don't know. To each his own, I suppose, right? To each his own. And Nikki said, I mean, Nicholas says she gave me acting advice. Well, good luck. Good luck, um, Nicholas. Good luck. That's really cool that you got to meet her, though. So that's what's up. Yes, Karen, I miss Julian Jerome too. Julian, before they turned his character into dog poo, I used to actually really like um Julian. Because Julian was another person at one point that didn't back down from Sonny. He didn't. Freddie says Marine West is killing. Yeah, she's killing it, Freddie. Now, Raylan is in the chat, and Raylan says, I wish we could have one of the writers die, or maybe all of them. Jesus. Hey, Raylan. Kind of morbid, but okay. How you doing tonight, Raylan? Thank you for joining. CW says it can be done, though they brought Taylor back from the dead on BNB twice. I mean, it can be done, but the question is, should it be done? You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking at this in a very different way. Because like even with Sunny, like if Sunny died, I'll just been like, all right, You know, the character had a good run. The actor had a good run. Um, and the same thing with Britt. Britt started off as a villain, as a baddie. She was called the Brit for a reason. She was super obsessed with Patrick. She was, she was super obsessed with him. She definitely turned it around. And so I think that her going out like this is as much as a tribute as they're going to give her. But that's just me. That is just me. Now Jessica says, Cam is not a baby. He will get over it. Yeah, I mean, breakups can be hard. Breakups can definitely be, oh, I don't even want to think about it, but yeah, it could definitely be hard. And like somebody said in the chat, he's not an idiot. He is going to figure it out, and he's going to be pissed off at Josh, and Josh is going to be standing there with the crocodile tears and being all like, "You should try the spicy Korean noodles." I wonder where I would get that from, Jessica. Jay Z is in the chat. Was good, Jay Z. I mean, I guess I could sit there and get it at the supermarket. I think it's funny, Jessica. I think I tried something similar during that whole pandemic thing when there really was no like when a lot of stuff was coming up short. I had to sit there and try different orders and noodles. Maybe I should try that one day. I think I'll try that one day. Ryan says I'm confident that Kimberly Brown. That is hilarious. Ron, I love your energy. Now, Ego thinks everything Asma said about Josh was correct. As crazy as it is, I think she said all of this at the campsite. Yeah, she did. I forgot what she said though. It's been so long. Lady Flaw says, I'm over Cam being mad. It happened. Okay. I mean, again, breakups suck. And it only happened. Exactly. It's only been one day. It's been a day. It's literally been a day. And it was New Year's Eve day on top of that. Now, Janice says Texas has no great Asian noodles. You are fortunate. Oh, really? And she says those noodles have way too much salt. One pack is more than we are supposed. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. But I have bad eating habits. I really do. I have bad eating habits. My eating habits are based off of, well, laziness, to be honest. And it's kind of a shame because I really do have a nice kitchen and a very nice stove. Damon says what's worse for Cam is that he will have to see Dax and Josh all the time holding hands and looking all happy. Yeah. Now Jessica says the Korean noodles are good but pretty spicy. I never had that. Maybe I'll try it one day. I'm not usually a spicy food kind of guy. Sir Charles is in the chat. Sir Charles says you got ramen noodles. Yes. And I think for one of my live streams, if I do have it with a certain person, I may bring back the ice cream because I haven't had ice cream in a hot minute and I miss it. Freddie says 10 years since. Yeah, she's been on for a hot minute. I mean, granted she wasn't consistent, but she's been on the show for a while. That's why I'm like cool with her leaving. You know, she's on. I already seen pictures of her on Station 9. So I'm like, yo, this chick is fine. Like she's gonna be okay. Mel says Sally was so wrong. Yeah, she was, but she did apologize. She did apologize. Ron says her Esme and her child survived. Now she Liz and well, yeah. But Ron, what's the point of putting her in jail? Blackmailing is so much more better. I mean, I'm not endorsing that. I'm just saying. Putting somebody in jail is just kind of that's not going to get anything out of them if put them in jail. No, you want them to squirm. You want them to squirm. I mean, we're not putting her in jail. Let's watch Liz. Have a little mental breakdown about how she's going to go to jail for the stupidness that she's been doing. Now Karen says Josh chose the workday to break up with Cam. I hope Dex dumps Josh. She did. She broke up with him at his job on New Year's Eve. Tony did says Dex won't be around long when Sonny finds him. Now Jessica says, Karen, what day was she supposed to do? I mean, I guess that's kind of true. The day, Jessica, you do have a point. You do. Yeah, that's what I said. You do have a point. Now Daisy Flower says Brock TV is biased. How is Brock TV biased? Daisy Flower. I really want to sit there and ask you, how is Daisy Flower? I mean, how is Brock TV biased? Biased about what exactly? I might have missed somebody comment in the chat, but well, yeah, I mean, yeah, no, everyone's biased, Nikisha, but I want to know why is Brock TV biased? I'm very curious about that. Yes, no, I do think that Orpheus found it because he did make a little tongue in cheek comment before when they were alive and you were saved. So yes, Daisy Flower says he hates the character, so he goes against her. Hmm. Like, now AJ says Brock isn't biased. Texas Twister is in the chat. What is good? Now, Texas Twister says, I watch Brock Q every day after I see the show. He's great. Well, thank you, Texas Twister, for actually being on you know, in my stream tonight. You know, Daisy Fly, I was going to sit there and ask you, well, which characters do you hate? But I haven't been able to catch Brock TV's videos in a hot minute. Which reminds me, because I don't actually have any of my members tonight, but I'm going to be doing a member live stream on Saturday. For anyone that's interested that wants to then be a member. No, that's very true, Nish. That's very true. That's very true, and it's definitely difficult as a reviewer. Oh, thank you, Texas Twister. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's tough to sit there and separate your feelings from characters that you don't like. I do understand that. Um, and Daisy Flower says Nina, Carly, Josh, and Brooklyn. Okay, wow. Now CEW says Brock definitely isn't. I mean, to be fair, I'm kind of not feeling. I'm kind of well. My feelings about Josh is very complicated. I would sit there and say because there are times where Josh will sit there and do something or say something to piss me off. But then Josh can actually be very smart, and she actually has her good moments. Like when she was sit there fending off the hook killer with a uh, broken heel. Jessica says, I'm shallow. uh, that's funny. Now Mel says Finn and Stephanie talked about. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Mel. That's why when I was Cynthia recommending a show, I did not recommend B&B. Yeah, they have been talking about that same conversation for 3 to 4 days. At some point, I'm just like, I think that's another reason why I didn't even bother to review it today. But I'm gonna be honest, given the numbers that I'm seeing on my day's review, I may actually start to review it next week. I mean, I'm still gonna review General Hospital. That's always gonna be one I'm gonna review. But just as far as other soap operas, numbers, like I said, they ain't looking good for days. I'm still gonna watch days, but as far as reviewing it, I don't know. Eagle thinks that I'm no longer calling Josh by her real name, I'm calling him Carly Jr. Are you gonna actually be able to remember Carly Jr. from Carly? Because I feel like that would just confuse me. CW says ever since the Sunny and Nina thing, Josh has been getting on my yeah. She's been getting on a lot of people's nerves too. She has. Now Dana says Josh is more like her grandmother, Bobby Smith. How is she? Well, Damon, why don't you explain to me how is Josh like Bobby? Shauna says she still told it, but she did try twice. She still told she still told it, but she did try twice. You mean Josh as far as telling the truth? Hmm. If that's what you're talking about, Shauna, are you talking about Josh? AJ said call Josh mini. Oof, okay. I'm not going there. Valley says Bobby was manipulative back in the day. Okay. Ron says Josh needs to sit down somewhere. She has no room to talk. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing, Ron. You know, when Josh is not there chastising Sunny, and Smith there calling Carly out on her mistakes. The reason why that always bothers me so much is because you're talking to adults that have lived their lives. How you doing tonight, Tracy Steve? Yeah, that's going to be interesting, Mel. When Deacon finds out, it's going to be interesting, and we haven't seen him in a while because he was in Cobra Kai. How you doing tonight, Tracy Steve? That's the thing that always annoys me about these kids on these shows. Tracy, there's no need to be sorry. Whenever you're here, you are on time. I always appreciate you being here. So never, never, never apologize. I'm just happy to see you. But that's the thing that always bothers me. Even with Spencer and Nicholas. Spencer going off on Nicholas and just saying you're bad at this and you're bad at that and this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, Spencer, you're 19. Why don't you relax, live a little bit, and when you start to get to his age, then you can sit there and start to chastise them. You can sit there and start to chastise him when you lived as long as Nicholas. I'm not sticking up for Nicholas, but you're a kid. Like, seriously, stay in your lane. Yes, Eagle thing. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw Mike Barnes like just walking in slow, and Daniel was like, "It's Mike and Barnes." I was like, "Okay." This show has a way. Cobra Kai has a way of exaggerating a lot of things, but it's just the way they do it. It's so funny. Um, yeah, I'm on episode 3 so far. I'm gonna try to finish it tonight before I go to bed. But I'm not gonna lie, Eagle thing. I'm loving it. I am loving it so far. I gotta watch a bunch of Marvel shows, but then after that, he's 19. He's a kid compared to Nicholas, though, AJ. And Tracy says I was so busy running errands, didn't realize what time it was. I'm glad you came on. They said time. But yeah, Yeah, I'm loving the schedule. I'm loving the schedule. Um, I just love having the schedule. It just makes my life so much easier. And I love that people remember that I come on from like 9. The problem is I always sit there and say from 9. I always come on at 8. But I never say what time I'm going to end because, to be honest, I don't usually know sometimes. Um, I may end at 10. I may end at 9:30. But I always sit there and at least try to be consistent about the times that I come on. Mel says I start watching Cobra Kai. Oh, nice, Mel. You're gonna like it. You're gonna like it, Mel. Jay Blue says, "Well, Albert, they are acting like kids. They think no, no. I mean, that's true. That's true. But I mean, I still gotta call it out sometimes. That's the only thing, Jay Blue. Eagle Ping says, you know, the writers for Cobra Kai saw the video. Daniel is the real bully. What? Yo, you know, Eagle Ping, I actually did see that before. Monique is in the chat. What's good, Monique? There's no reason to be to apologize. I'm just happy that you're here. Oh, Karen, yes, 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 yes. Cobra Kai is that show. Cobra Kai is so much that show that when it's over, I need to watch something else that's really good. Otherwise, it's just depressing. And I want to watch The Boys next after watching Cobra Kai. That's what I want to do next. I want to watch Cobra. I want to watch The Boys after Cobra Kai because Cobra Kai is like this crazy high that once it's over, you need something else to kind of like bring you down to earth a little bit. Oh, Karen, I'm so happy that you're in this chat. That you subscribe. You know, Eagle Fang, I don't doubt that. I really don't. I don't doubt that. Eagle Fang says Cam finds out about Josh. Will he go Xander old school for you know? No, I want him. I want him to channel his inner Xander, and it's so weird, Eagle Fang, because you know I'm looking at the spelling and it's like ZAN, but like when I watch Days, you know it's X because for some odd reason Xander has to be completely complicated and has to be spelled with an X and a Z for some odd reason. DJ Flaw says the young couples are Dex and Josh, and Spencer and Drina, Cam and Esme. Oh, okay. Now Monique says I watched a few episodes of Cobra Kai, then I get other recommendations, then I start to watch them, never watch an entire season. Wow. You know, it's crazy. My dad does that sometimes. He'll watch something and watch half of it, and he'll watch something else, and I can't do that. I can't do it. Once I watch a show, I gotta watch it from start to finish. I can't sit there and watch half of something then go back. The only time I actually did that is with Stargirl, and that's because they canceled it. And eventually, I'm gonna get back to it. But usually, yeah, I can't do that. I can't sit there and watch like 3 shows at a time. I just can't do it. Eagle Fang says I've seen a woman in the comment section on the Josh. That is very true. That is very true, Eagle Fang. Well, now Double C says on Buffy Xander was named the way. I don't get why. Yeah, I don't understand it either. You know, Jessica, I get that Eagle Fang's comment might have came off a little harsh. But with that being said, there's a lot of truth to it. Let's just be honest. There's a lot of truth to it, Eagle Fang. I mean, Jessica. When you really stop and think about it. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and bash her like that, but let's be honest, that comment does actually have a lot of merit to it. AJ said, "How is?" Hmm, well, I am not gonna jump into that. Now, Victoria says, "Hey, Albert, it's so weird to see Ryan being more right." No, isn't that crazy, Victoria? It's one of those things where it's like it kind of reminds me of an episode of the X-Men where Cyclops was just being like just straight up nuts, and even Logan, even Wolverine was like, "Yo, when I'm the rational one, there's a problem." But Victoria, I do kind of look at their relationship like Harley Quinn and the Joker. Monique says Josh thinks she's grown. She's got the mind of a child. At least Cam doesn't depend on his mom. He works and goes to school. What does Josh do? Complain about Sunny? That's her job. I can't disagree with one thing. Thank you, Double C. Thank you so much. Wow, we actually got 41 people in the chat. We're at 12 likes so far. So if you want to sit there and, you know, give the stream a like, it would definitely help out. Also, I got to sit there and do my little shilling thing again because for some odd reason, I feel like that's the way to go. And before I do that, Jessica says, I agree, the writers is trash, but how is that particular storyline lazy? Okay. Tony D says, I feel like Kevin was channeling Ryan today when he's really. Jessica says, a lot of girls love bad boys in real life. Look at Sonny and how many. Well, you know what, Jessica, I will sit there and say this much. There's a lot of guys that like bad girls. Everyone in the chat? Let's everyone in chat say hello to my dad. Who also has my name. Okay, all right, all right, all right. Technically, it was his name first, but just not get things confused. My name. How you doing tonight, Dad? Angelique is in the chat. What's good? Everyone subscribe to Angelique's YouTube channel. She is doing reviews on General Hospital. I'm not gonna lie, I actually did like it. It was actually nice to hear your voice. Everyone saying hi, Dad. Um, Monique says if Cody had been honest with Britt about his intentions from the start, maybe she wouldn't have left. Been so defensive. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where it's like, well, Angelique, I think you did pretty good. I would honestly sit there and say I think you actually did really good. So definitely keep up. I am a fan so far. I was now Karen's yeah, no, keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. Now Eagle Fang says, but why do I have a feeling Eva is going to ex Nicole over this? Nicholas over this. Oh, Ava. And then Nikisha says, I rewatched old scenes of Sonny and Karen. Sonny was trash back then. He used her and got her hooked on. Yeah. Oof. It's so bad. It's so bad. Thank you. Thank you, Janet. Thank you. I actually have some. I got some new Christmas clothes I want to sit there and bring out um, in the next couple of days. So that's gonna be fun. Now Jessica says, look at the Vampire Diaries with Elena and Damon, worst couple ever, but the fans. Jessica, what's really funny about that? So Damon wound up killing Elena's brother, and at the end, they still get married. How messed up is that, Jessica? When you think about that, Damon literally killed um Jeremy, and yet at the end they still got married. Now, oh yeah, I forgot I gotta sit there and show because for some odd reason that's the thing. I'm not gonna show too much. I promise on that. I know right now the join button, you can't see the join button on if you have a mobile on your, if you're watching this, or if you're watching my videos on mobile, you can't see it for some odd reason, which is really annoying. But if you're on a laptop, or I believe an iPad or something like that, you can see the join button. So if you want to sit there and join the membership, I'm going to be sitting there going lives on there, doing live streams on there as well, and I'm going to actually bring back the callback feature. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be trying to do that at least 2 to 3 times a week. Yeah, Nikisha. Yeah, now Nikisha, you don't see the join button, but you're on your phone though, right? Wow, that's it's messed up because I don't see that on mine as well. Nikisha, here's what I would sit there and say: if you type in YouTube desktop, then you'll see it. Yeah, I should probably write that in. Yeah, if you go to YouTube desktop, you'll see the join button. So all you guys sit there and do is just go to the YouTube. Yeah, I'm trying to click when I try to remember to click when I get my laptop. I don't use it often. Okay. Whenever you can, Nikisha, I definitely would appreciate it because I definitely would love to sit there and see you. Um, so far in the chat now, Jay Blue says I'm on my mobile, and that's okay. So Jay Blue sees it, and um, now Nikisha, is there a way you can paste the link? I'm gonna try to do that tonight before I go to bed. Yes. And it's so weird because Jay Blue says I'm on mobile, and Jay Blue sees it. I'm trying not to let it stress me out, but I'm gonna try to do that next time. Thank you, Nikisha. I love what I do because even if I don't know something, usually somebody will come with a good idea. I'm definitely gonna try to do that in the next one, and also my next review as well. So thank you for that, Nikisha. Mel says I get all the notifications from you. Oh, okay, good. But I mean, I'm glad that you're actually getting notifications. I was talking about my membership as far as the join button. But some people are saying that they can't see it and other people can, which is really annoying. Um, and the only way they can sit there and see the join button if they go on if they're on their laptops or desktops. And I know a lot of people use their phones because I use my phone whenever I'm watching somebody else's stream. That's a great idea. Thank you, Nikisha. You are a rock star for real. I like saving challenges has made it in the chat. What's good? Thank you for joining. So yeah, no, thank you, Nikisha. You're amazing. Like if I have not said that enough, you are amazing. Um, now Daisy Flaw says the problem is the actor is recurring, which doesn't help when you are part. Yeah, but Daisy Fly, it wasn't even about that though. It wasn't even about like their time apart. It was just, oh, she's coming on tomorrow. Nice, nice, Mel. It wasn't even about them being apart. They just, honestly, tell you the truth, that whole revenge tape pretty much messed up their relationship. Mary J says, Spencer and Emma were kids, so why ship them? That's disrespectful. Hmm. I did forget about that. Monique says Josh thinks that by being with Dex, she can change him. Oh, yeah, I agree, Monique. I mean, she's young, but yeah, no, I agree with that. But somebody was Smith is saying that Josh may find out that Dex is working on a cover for Michael, and that would definitely sit there and change things. CW says, I think, oh yeah, exactly. I agree with that. CW. Jessica says she fell out of love with him. It happens. It's not the end of the world. It's not. That's not the end of the world. Was the end? Was bad? Was the cheating part? Um, I know. I mean, I agree with you on that. Double says that seeing the flash trail just yeah, Double C, but they did have a good run. They had a good 7 or 8 years. And at least they got to finish it. That's more. Double C. That's more than Legends got. Legends more didn't even get to finish their run. They couldn't be bothered to sit there and give them one more season, and that's because they didn't want to pay for the studio. Ugh. Mm-mm. Every time I think about that, it just boils my blood. Jessica. Yeah, Curtis. I mean, well, Curtis and Portia was definitely not needed in the episode. And Mel says, "Well, people can go see." Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay. When is it coming out? Oh, it's coming out this. Oh, okay. Cool. I got to sit there and try to watch it next week then. Hmm. Thank you for letting me know, Mel, because I was wondering when that movie was coming out. Yeah, Angelique says yes, Dex is on the cover, but who is he? Cops badge. So that would be interesting if he was actually a cop or something, or make him a Fed. They got a lot of cops there. Make him a Fed. Damon says now I really think Dex is Sunny's son. Yeah, well, hmm. I mean, it's a shame, AJ. It should never get to a point where it's an argument. It should just be a debate. My But Tony says thoughts of Dex and Josh as a couple. A lot of people like Dex and Josh as a couple. McTony. And thank you for joining, McTony. Always, like I said, I love seeing my regulars, and I definitely love seeing that they're seeing new fans, new people in the chat. Oh, it comes out to 6. Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna have to try to see you sometime next week then. Ron says fans can tell from fiction. Oh, can't tell. Yeah, yeah, that's definitely true. That is definitely true. Now CW says I can't stand Curtis. He has a double standard, so I will be. Yeah, it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be epic. CW. Oh, to tell you the truth, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even realize there was some sort of. Apparently, while I was sitting there reading and talking and stuff like that, it might have been some sort of argument with the Sabrina fans or whatever. I don't know. See, for me, I'm one of those people where it's like I don't care what one way or the other. I don't care one way or the other when it comes towards Trina and Spencer. I'll say my comments every now and then, but other than that, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like if you like them, that's great. If you don't like them, that's great too. Like it's a fictional show with fictional characters. It's not to me. It's not that deep. You know. Um, as far as their fan base is concerned, it is what it is. And Double C says, I'm thankful Josh and Cam broke up. Now Cam could be with a real girlfriend. Who? That's the question. Who? Now Victoria says, I agree. It will be more fun. Yeah, Karen, it would be interesting if it was a fan. I feel like they already got a lot of cops there. Exactly, Valerie. I'm like, yo, it's a fictional character. It's fictional characters. Why there's no need for that. At least with me personally. I think that's why sometimes it's like exactly, Jessica, it's not that serious. It really isn't, you know. You gotta like the characters you don't, you know. I agree with that, Karen. She does need to be on more. Now Angelique says, let's talk about all the fake tears in today's shows. Why did Felicia have more tears than Brad? I didn't even realize they were crying a little bit. I had no idea. Honestly, tell you the truth, I was so bored with the episode. I'm pretty sure I just ignored that. Not on purpose, but it just went off my head. And Nikki said, it's like more you ignore them, the more attention they seek. Daisy Flaw says, yes, so fans have become hateful. AJ, I don't think that Nikisha actually has a Twitter. I could be wrong, but I don't think she has a Twitter now. And that's because of just how many people are toxic on there. But the question is, Nikisha, do you have an Instagram though? I want to know if Nikisha actually has an Instagram. Jessica says, why was Britt living in a hotel? Isn't she a doctor? Yeah, Jessica, but because she's a doctor. Oh, you do have a Twitter. Okay. I mean, maybe it's just out of convenience though. Really, when you really think about Jessica, she doesn't have to cook. She doesn't even have to sit there and make her own bed. And she has the money to afford a hotel. So I don't see why not. In all reality, a hotel actually seems pretty sweet when you really think about it. You don't have to worry about anything that's broken or whatever will be fixed. Listen, if I actually get enough money, I would definitely sit there and be like, I would live at a hotel. Keisha, do you have an Instagram? Now, Daisy Flower says, for instance, the Josh comments are toxic and misogynist. Okay, I don't know how. Well, some can be. Some can be. Some can be. Others can just be criticism. Oh, okay. All right, Nikisha. Well, if anyone wants to, I mean, here's the thing. Um, I do have three Instagrams, but see, that's the thing. I would tell people to sit there and follow me on Instagram, but because I don't remember the passwords to two of them, and I only have one that I actually use. But if anyone's ever bored and they want to sit there, hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on Instagram because I talk to Shakira. I talk to Shakira all the time on Instagram. Exactly, Shauna. That's why I was like, yo, listen, she got the money. She can do it. Oh, De Havilland's in the chat. What's good, De Havilland? I'm not gonna lie, Valerie. Every time I see somebody call somebody a heifer, it's just hilarious. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, Angelique. The reason why I actually wound up getting two other Twitters is because I got in trouble on. I mean, Instagram because I got in trouble on Instagram because let's just sit there and say I have a way of being very mouthy with people, and yeah, I definitely can take things. I can take things too far. Um, but I've been more of a good boy. So, but that's the thing though. Like people will sit there and say that Twitter is toxic and this, that, and the third. But here's the thing though. Here's the thing that people don't well, not that they don't realize. Um, actually, no, it was not about doing research at all. Angelique, I was just really, I was very combative. But here's my thing though on Twitter. It's it's not Twitter itself, but it's the people on Twitter. And the same people that's on Twitter are the same people that's on Facebook. It's the same people that's on yes, that is true, Giant. Yeah. Danny Bear 87 is on Twitter. I mean she does reviews. My point is that it's not so much as Twitter that's toxic. And it's, you're not going to sit there and outrun people by being on Instagram or being on Facebook. Um, you know, that's just the truth, man. Angelique says, "Oh, okay, just checking." Yeah, no, 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 no. I was gonna sit there and say something. I was like, you know what? It's actually kind of inappropriate. I'm not gonna say, and yeah, Angelique, it did have something to do with research, but yeah, I'm not gonna go there. It's not. Well, thank you for joining us, Monique. It was a pleasure having you. In all reality, it was a pleasure to have you. Thank you for joining, as always. Yes, that's right, Angelique. I want to keep this a PG-13 platform. Okay, I mean a PG-13 chat. Um, China says Tucker snapped at Audra, and she did too. Yeah, I saw that when she walked out. When she walked out that room, like, yo, listen, don't be calling me and texting me and stuff like that. And she just slammed that door. I was like, oh, okay. I guess they're not going to be spent there. Maybe they may. I was about to sit there and say, I guess they may not be getting busy, but then again, now Daisy Flaw says yes, is on all platforms, but more. You could be right. You can be right, Daisy Flaw. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of times on Twitter that I only go there um, to do business. I was sit there and say. So yes, you probably are right. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Um, Shakira, I was just sitting there talking to everyone about my Instagram account because me and you were always sitting there talking and stuff on that. I was going to suggest people to follow me on Instagram, but I'm like, I have three, and I only use one. Daisy Flaw says, "Poor Asma, poor Asma with a question mark." Yeah, poor Asma. Well, I mean, when you really think about it, the worst thing that she did was the whole revenge. And I'm not sitting there saying that that's right, but I don't know. I A lot of people in Port Charles has done bad things, and that's not to sit there and give a defense towards her. You know? Yeah, she is interesting, Valerie. That is true, Takesha. That is true. Trust me, I know how you feel about Esme, and I know the reasons why you feel about. I know the reasons why you feel the way you feel about Esme, and I think that's another reason why I love doing this. Because when I see people on the regular, like when I see my regulars and stuff like that, and I get to actually know them and stuff like Nikisha, I know why. You know why it bothers her so much about the whole Esme thing. I love that. I genuinely do cherish that. You know, that's why I always sit there and say I love seeing my regulars. AJ says Esme still needs to pay. That's true. That is true. Um, yeah, that's very true. Karen says, would it be interesting that Esme would turn good after this accident? Oh, Esme. Oh, that'd be interesting. But I don't think that people will still forgive her now, if that was the case. Ron says this is why Phoenix have been blocking people because he doesn't want negative. Yeah, that's very true. I have to sit there and watch Phoenix one day. I've been behind on a lot of people that do reviews and stuff like that. And talk about soaps. Jessica still think that she's faking it. Yeah, I can see her milking it. Even Liz is like, I don't think she's being honest. Now CW says she has Heather and Ryan's jeans. That's punishment. AJ says I still don't like Esme. I don't care if they're trying to redeem her. No, I get that. Nikisha says now if they make Esme really have amnesia and really go to jail, then I might have some sympathy for her. Maybe, just maybe, she can go to be with Cam. Daisy Flaw, from what I heard, Esme and Cam, they're somewhat related, right? That's what I gotta sit there and double check that though. Shauna says Portia Day is coming. Yes, and it's gonna be epic. Double C says Lila. Ray should date Cam since most think Trina's a goody two shoes. Spencer can date Emma again. Can date Emma again. That's how I write it. Ron says Esme ain't going nowhere, so get over it. No, I don't. I turned around and I heard like a sound. My little my little bag over there. I didn't know what that was about. But honestly, to tell you the truth, I also have people upstairs. Angelique. Oh, so yeah, you saw the look on my face when I just turned around like that, right? Like, oh, I hope not. You know, there was one point where I wanted to sit there and record while I was leaving. Like, I was leaving for work and I wanted to sit there and record the place to sit there and see if there was actually a ghost. But my tablet didn't really have a good battery. And in all honesty, I'm not gonna lie, if I would have recorded that day and I would have saw something, that would have freaked me the hell out. Like I might would have actually wanted to move. And I've been thinking about that too as far as recording, like, just to see if I would see something. But at the same time I don't want to know. Like it's one of those things where it's like I don't want to know if actually something is here. So I think for my own sanity, ignorance is really bliss. And it's definitely my friend. I'll say that much. Now, yeah, but I mean, again, aren't they related though, Esme and Cam? Emma says, how long do you think Albert, that Tucker and Audrey go on with this act before? I'm not gonna lie. When Devon found out a little bit, When Devon starts asking questions, it may not be that long. May not be that long. Now, Angelique says I have the app too, but I never see anything. Hmm. Well, it's not even really an app. I would just record it. Well, I would have to find a way. Dolly's in the chat. No, I would have to find a way for me to sit and record while I'm at work. So I would have to find like a really good battery. Um, and I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to use like my laptop, and I can't really use my phone, so I would have to get something else to record. Um, then again, I don't know if I actually want to see anything. That's the thing. I don't know if I want to see anything. It's like if I see something, I'm going to be honest. I might actually have to move because once you see something, you can't unsee it. Let's put it that way. Dolly is in the chat. Dolly was good. Dolly. Ryan says you don't have to like her, but the right. Now Angelique says Cam is not related because Heather is a weapon by marriage, right? Oh, okay. All right. And Nikki said ghosts don't let you see them unless they want you to see them. Oof. It's kind of, I'm not gonna lie, Nikki, that's kind of a scary thought. Um, maybe you're right, but then again, maybe it could. Not gonna lie, I I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you're right, Nikisha, but sometimes things do slip up, though. You know, they do slip up. Valerie says Albert needs to Ghostbusters. No, I do not. I would just need to move, stay with a friend or something. AJ says, yeah, I still don't, but it doesn't mean. Ryan says, I want Philip to come back. That would be interesting. That would. Dolly says, long day. Chris almost made me feel so. Exactly, Dolly. I'm not gonna. It's kind of weird. I know that she's done a lot of jacked up stuff, but um, I did genuinely feel bad for her. I did. Um, because I looked at her fears as a mother. I didn't look at her fears like she was a, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just looked at her like she was a panic and scared mother. Um, CW says if they were blood related, what happened? Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad we cleared that up. Thank you for letting me know. Angelique says I would just go, yeah, I would be. Seriously, you ever saw one of those shows or one of those movies where it's like their house is haunted and everything, and they're just like, or their apartment is haunted, and it's like, whoa, yeah, I don't want to leave. I want to sit there and stay. Ain't no ghost going to kick me out my house. And I'm like, how could you even sleep? How could you even sleep? Let alone anything else. How could you even sleep? I couldn't do it. Now, and Shauna says Abby got her own house moving. She did start trying to do the walk of shame for a little bit, Shauna. Now, Nikki said, in my experience, spirits don't attach to places, they attach to people. So if you have a ghost, uh, Nikisha, I'm not gonna lie, that is very true. That is very true. And as I was saying that out loud, I was like, you are 100% right about that. Oof, that would suck. Ugh, kind of creeps me out just thinking about that. And yet I still want to go to do a ghost hunt. So there's that. Now Dolly says the actress who played Kristen always does a good. Yeah, she does. She does. She's been killing it, but she always kills it though. She always kills it. So I've been loving it. Yeah, Valerie, it's a messed up thing, but it's She's not wrong. Angelique says, yes, I watched those shows on. Yeah, I mean, it's true. Um, I, especially when they start like doing things like breaking stuff, like they'll do things just to scare someone, and they're just like, "Well, I'm not moving," until it becomes really bad, and then they leave. So I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. You can have this place. I will pay off your rent, and good luck. It's really messed up. I will sit there and say one more thing about that. Usually, when that happens, a realtor or whoever, like landlords, they don't have to tell you about that. They don't have to sit there and tell you that somebody died or anything like that. They don't have to tell you any of that. So you could be walking to a very bad situation. And yeah. Oh well, okay, that's good. Now Nikki says I don't think ghosts hurt people that don't deserve it. Hmm. And Nikki says I grew up with a graveyard in my bed. Whoa, Jesus, wow, that is yeah, that is scary as hell. That kind of creeped me out. Just oh my god, how wow. You are a very, very strong woman, Nikisha, and I mean just for so many different reasons. But wow. Now Mel says I've never experienced seeing a ghost or hunting, but people have been taunted by them. Yeah. Now Angelique says, how did Eddie Murphy say it? When a ghost says get out, you exactly. You just leave. You're just like, you know what? This place ain't working out for me. I'm just getting my PlayStation, all my accessories, my research, and just get the hell up out of here. Really, Daisy Flower? You mind sharing? I mean, you mind sharing some of your experiences or an experience? Thank you, Valerie. And you know the thing is, it's still warm. It's still warm. Oh, oh, okay. Hmm. Well, I mean, yeah, Nikisha, in theory, but exactly, Angelique. I was like, yo, she says she grew up with a graveyard in the back of her house. Respect is all I can sit there and say. And Dolly says, all my ghost experience have been from child. Really? Wow. Now, Deja Flow says a lady across the street from me died and she wanted to be cremated, but her husband buried her. Her spirit came back into the house. Oh, well, maybe that's kind of a good thing. Because I'm not gonna lie, the story at first I was like, man, this story may be kind of creepy, but it's actually kind of sweet. Hmm. Actually, pretty touching. Tony D says Devon is smarter than I thought. He's on the tuck. Yeah, no, that's why I said like Tony D. There's always something I do like about Devon, and I just can't quite put my finger on it. When the dude is sharp, he's definitely sharp. Mel says, "Let me make this crystal clear. Don't ever mess with the." Oh, yeah. No, that goes without saying. That goes without saying. They used to sell those at my job, at my last job. And people used to go in there and buy them and just like joke around and like, nah, I'm good. Because you don't know what you're inviting. That is literally the among the worst things you can actually do. I totally agree with that, Mel. Now, Nikki said it was normal for me. The house I grew up was an old house. The family that my family bought it from had their family buried on. Oof. I was gonna tell you the truth. Nikki, I can't even sit there and say. Have a good night, AJ. Thank you for joining. I mean, part of me is sitting there thinking like when Nikisha is like it was normal, like she grew up like that. So it wasn't so much like it was a scary experience. It was just something that was just pretty much a part of her, like her upbringing. Double C says, "Hey, did you hear that?" No, I did not. Double C, that actually sounds pretty interesting. Oh, crap. Hold on. Now, Daisy Flower says we close the door and or our weight against the door. Oof. My God, that is so crazy, Daisy Flower. That must have been scary as hell. I mean, were you scared? And in case you weren't freaked out, like seriously, you weren't freaked out. And that's another thing, Daisy Flower. Did that stuff ever freak you out though? Ron says Stacy and Kimberly Brown. Yeah, they both been killing it, Ron. I 100% agree with you on that. Mel says, do you believe in paranormal? I 100% do. Daisy Flower, I do. I definitely do. That's why, like I sat there and I was like, in some ways I was kind of glad that my old tablet didn't work that well because I would have been freaked out if I would have saw anything. And Daisy Flower said, yeah, because at night we can hear. Oof. Daisy Flower, my heart goes out to you. Like on some realness, my heart goes out to you. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, Valerie, definitely. That's just what I love about doing these streams. It's like we were talking about soaps, and it just made a left turn, made a left turn. But no, I mean on some realness, that is scary. Daisy Flower says she caused a young child to. Oh wow, that's crazy, Daisy Flower. Well, I'm gonna have some. I'm sure I won't be freaked out at all. And I turn off these lights, sit there, and go to bed. No, I'll be fine. Um, I do like the fact that, well, yeah. I just thought about that, Valerie. I was like, so we're talking about like ghosts and stuff like that, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna be turning out the lights soon and going to bed, and I won't sit there and have this conversation in my head the whole time. I'll be totally fine. And Dolly says the only thing that sucks is that Stacy and Kimberly Gunn might be in. Oh, okay. That's a very good point, Dolly. But honestly, to tell you the truth, I think they've been both doing an amazing job. Tony D says I once got lost and kept hearing someone. Oof. Well, I mean, Tony D, was this in your house or like where were you? Deja Paul says we had to get the house blasted. Oh, again? Whoa, again? I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure I read that right. You said again. Oof. Mel says, why do ghosts attract themselves to certain people? But me, I have this orb around me that I never experienced that. What do you mean you have this orb around you? Like lately or just like like when? And the key says I don't remember ever being scared, my mom. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I must sit there and say, Nikisha, you seem like you have for the most part, like your experience wasn't really like violent or anything like that. You know, it wasn't like it was, it didn't freak you out because it seemed like they were just, how did ghost hunters sit there and describe it? You know, when people are ghosts, sometimes they're dead, but they're still people. You know, it's freaky because it's something that's different. But the way they sat there and put it was that they're just people. You know, it's just a different, I don't know, reality or whatever, or living or something. So I guess that does make sense. Tony D says the voice sounds like my grandma who would. Oh, wow. Now Deja Flower says yes. We always bless a house when we move in. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's definitely after that. I totally, yeah, I get it. CW says not really feeling Sheila as much as these days. Well, I mean, CW, the whole show with Bill has been acting very cartoonish. I've just been loving it personally. Now, Deja Flow says my parents are from Jamaica and they have. Mm, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it seemed like yours. I mean, Deja Flow, was it ever violent though? That's the question. Was it ever like violent, like to the point where it's like, yo, we got to do something otherwise we got to leave? Because I mean, it seems like your experience, Daisy Flower, was much different than. Oh yeah, yeah, no, Nikisha. Angelique. I don't think I'm gonna have nightmares. I think it's just gonna take some time to actually go to sleep. And I'm gonna be honest. I may actually have to do some research tonight. So yeah, yeah. I might actually have to do some research tonight. But I'm also super wired too, so I'm gonna have to do something about that as well. Oh, because you was new to the area. Okay. Have a good night, Valerie. Thank you for joining as usual. It was great to sit there and see you again, and I hope I see you tomorrow. Tony D says, I'm from Jamaica too, so we have all types of stories. Yeah, I can imagine it, Tony D. I can imagine it. I just, it's really interesting though because, um, I'm actually talking to people that did actually have these experiences, not just like they heard stories, like, no, 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 like they were living it. Daisy Flaw says one ghost was a family member who passed away, but no one knew where they died and were buried. They wanted us to. They wanted to let us know. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's my whole thing. Daisy Flaw, was it ever a point where it just got like really scary though? You know, because there's a fine line between just a deceased family member wants to sit there and tell their story or whatever, and you're not freaked out. You know, as opposed to it just being extremely violent. Now Mel says, why do ghosts go after people like attack them? Mel, the short answer is that some people in life were not good. They weren't good people, and if they weren't good people in life, then they're not good. They're not going to be good people in the afterlife. You know, Lady Flaw says her dad neighborhood was scary, but she was sent away. Oh, okay, all right. Well, honestly, tell you the truth, Daisy, I'm glad you're one of those people that is here to sit there and oh, you're okay. All right. Well, I do want to sit there and thank you, Daisy Flower, for sharing your experiences, and you too, Nikisha, as well, for sharing your experiences. Because um, I know it's not exactly a comfortable thing to sit there and really talk about, So I want to seriously thank both of y'all for talking about it. This was definitely a lot of fun, and it was definitely a hell of an interesting turn. But I love it though. I love it. I mean, yeah, I always sit there, I make a topic and I generally sit there and talk about it, like soap operas or whatever. That doesn't mean that we can't sit there and talk about, um, other things as well. So just want to point that out. LCW says one time I was missing my mom and all of a sudden I started smiling. I was smiling her paper from, oh, that was nice. It's kind of a good thing now, right? CW? Cheyenne says monetization and censorship is so problematic. It is, Cheyenne, it is. I mean, yeah, it's definitely difficult for a lot of YouTubers. It's difficult for me. Um yeah, it's Cheyenne, it's difficult, but at some point it's one of those things where it's like certain things not to sit there and say. And other things it's YouTube, there's times where YouTube can be too sensitive. Then there's just times where it's like there's certain things that you should not be saying. So it's kind of more of a common sense thing as well. Tony D says my mom used to smell my uncle's cigarettes. Wow. Have a good night, Shakira. Thank you for joining. Oh yeah, Dolly. It's definitely gonna be fun. It's definitely gonna be fun. I will agree with you on that. Jay Blue says I stepped away and came back. Oh, you Sage? Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard about that. Using Sage does help, but Nikisha also said put salt around the door. Yeah. Does that actually really help though? 20D says after oh, okay. Double C says I had a recurring dream of my late grandma. Dreams can tell you something. Yeah, that's very true. That is very true. Digiflow says I want to go to New Orleans, but the city is too haunted. I'm afraid something will attach itself to me. Yeah. Hmm. That's very true, Daisy. There was one point I actually really wanted to go to New Orleans. That's just because I used to watch the show The Originals. Um, but yeah. Um, oh yeah, you said that with yeah, you said okay, you said that with an emoji. Okay, that's very interesting, Nikisha. You are definitely a jewel, and I'm so glad to have you, Nikisha. Now Nate says see you tomorrow, Robert. While I will miss Britt, her run. Yeah, that's very true. Have a good night, Nate. Thank you for joining as well. Thank you for joining as well. It's always great to see you in the chat. Have a good night, Tony D. Thank you for joining. And he says, just put some salt. Okay. That's very true, Nikisha. Yeah. Hmm. Well, I gotta sit there and say, Nikisha, I hope I never actually have to do that. That is the thing. Oof. Okay. Wow. Hmm. Have a good night, Victoria. Thank you for joining. As always, it's great to see you. Um, Yeah, it's great to see you. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow as well. I love doing these lives, and I just uh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Have a good night again, Nate. Thank you for joining. And since it's like 10 o'clock and I gotta be up at like 4, I think I should probably get ready to go to bed. I think I should probably get ready to go to bed. But I do want to thank everyone for joining. This was so much fun. I loved, I had so much fun doing this. And of course the twist, well, not really the twist, but the way the conversation went was definitely interesting. I will sit there and say that. Have a good night, Mel. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Dolly, for joining. It was great talking to you. It's great seeing you in the chat. Thank you again, Angelique. Um, Thank you, Angelique, just for being here, for being a member, and for joining the stream. We got another Janet. We got another Janet. Uh, Thank you, Janet, for being here. Hopefully I get to see you tomorrow as well. I'm going to be back 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. So I definitely look forward to sitting there talking to you. Have a good night, Daisy Flower. Have a good night, Jay Blue. Have a good night, Nikisha. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Janice says she's a great character. Have a nice night. Thank you. You have a good night too, Janet. Hopefully we'll get to sit there and have two Janice in the chat. I love what I do. If I have not said that enough, I love what I do. So this is I miss Britt on GH. Long live the bridge. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. With that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank everyone for watching. Stay safe, everyone. I look forward to seeing everyone in the live stream tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and also Saturday. Saturday, I'm going to be doing my first live stream for members only. So if you are not a member and you want to join to be a member, if you're on your desktop, if you're on your laptop or a desktop, or if you're on your mobile phone and you can switch it to desktop mode, you can hit the join button because I do have a membership. It's $4.99 and it will include live streams for members only, also call-ins during the live streams, and also member shout-outs as well as exclusive videos that I'm going to be doing so. So if you're thinking about joining, it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to doing it. Doing some vlogs and stuff like that. I'm not going to go too crazy on the vlogs, but it's mostly just going to be, I have some fun stuff planned. So definitely stick around. Definitely join to be a member because I've been thinking about that for a long time as far as making sure that I give out some quality stuff. So yes, thank you for watching. Be safe, everyone, and I look forward to seeing everyone in the next stream.